Hi, this is Kimmy with Determined Kimmy, and today I just wanted to take a second and talk about pain. Through my experience, of course, and this is no way in representation of everybody's journey, but I will say going through pain is not only a huge impact on the person that's going through it, but their closest network of people. And for me, that was my family. And I'll start off with the kind of pain I felt, and that was in my arms for a year, and then it moved to the core of my body for a year, and then just recently it moved to my legs. And I'll never forget one experience that might be a good representation of my thought. And I remember being in so much pain that all I could think about was the here and the now and my survival skills. I didn't have what it took, right? So like if you got into a car accident, it would be understandable. I can see you have a broken leg. You need to rest. Okay, your cast came off. You're better, moving it along. But with chronic pain, you don't really see it. And doctors don't see it either. It's all up to the person to communicate. So I remember going back in time thinking about coming home. And when the pain started, the first phase is almost disbelief, and you're trying to pinpoint what's happening, and it's a foreign, new experience, let alone if you have paralysis on top of it. And you feel angry. I felt so angry. And it's true, you take it out on the people that you love, and that's because it's a safe place. So being someone who's experiencing pain, maybe for the first time, or chronic pain, or nerve pain, which is a whole new beast I'd never experienced before, it was so hard for me to still keep my composure of, hi, welcome home, or thank you so much for your kindness. I don't feel good. You could see it on my face. But I learned something, and that was how much it affects the people who are around me. I've said in other videos before that I really do think it's the hardest on the people that love you to watch you suffer or have bad days, because they want to fix it. They want to make it better. And boy, if we could, it would be great. So understanding that this other person feels so safe. Maybe you could look at it this way. This person feels so safe that a bad day can be truthful and communicated. Pray for an extra dose of patience and grace. But I will say, coming out of the pain, when I started looking back on the people that were there for me and my gratitude and how many blessings that I have had in my life, that I have now in my life, I went down a train of I'm sorry. I had to apologize, if not to make them know I'm sorry, just for me to feel like I'm humbled, and I want you to know I'm humbled. So if I were to put myself in that person's shoe, I would have to pause and really look at why is their reaction so visceral, maybe, or why is it just one day after another that's got negative complaining? And I'll tell you, if you're trying to care for somebody, you need to make sure you have your cup filled. In other words, if you're trying to pour a glass of water and take it out of your portion, and your portion is getting diminished and diminished and diminished, you're going to be left with nothing but frustration and anger yourself. So taking that time to ground yourself as a caretaker, I would think that would need to be part of a daily routine. I've heard people say they journal when they first wake up. Let's say you can't step out and take a walk. Stretch. Vitamin D sunshine with activity at the same time, whether you're the one in pain or you're the one taking care of the person in pain. And then having a support system. I mean, if it's going to be a long-term, big change in your life, that's something that it really benefits each person to have a group of people who can listen, relate, and then even have takeaways that you're like, wow, I can really take that and apply it. Thank you. It kind of takes a little load off your shoulders. I remember just recently I talked to my mom, who is the nicest person. She loves me more than any human on earth, which of course, right? And I remember telling her, Mom, I'm so sorry, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking care of me selflessly. And that's pretty special. And you know what she said to me? She would do it all over again. So as we're laying there in pain and we wake up one day and we're sorry, or we want to just go on an apology tour like I did, having solace and knowing if someone's caring for you, it's because they want to. Now, granted, they need a break. So I guess I would hope that this little video, the takeaway would be the person in pain, be patient with yourself. If it's new pain, remember it's an adaptation time. You're going to have to learn how to ride this pain wave because it might take a week. It might take 2 years. It might be something you have to learn to cope with for a long time. In fact, behind me is my favorite painting of a mermaid. And it's kind of symbolic of me because she's coming out of the water, right? Half of her is human and the other half is fish. And there's an evolution that's happening with that symbol. And being able to recognize that, having a big change in your life, paralysis, chronic pain, that's a big change in your life. And I would even say a support group for that person as well. Hearing somebody else go through it, finding a YouTube video. Gosh, if I would have had that 9 years ago, I would have been so grateful. And then for the pain, the person taking care of the family or friend in pain, that's a big, tall order. And although it may be an immediate need and you don't have time to prepare for it, of course, who prepares for that? Recognizing to give yourself grace and to find support. And if you're not your best self, you can't give anything to somebody else. Running on fumes isn't good for anybody. So excusing yourself to take a walk, stretch, do a little sunshine, ground yourself, bare feet in the grass. All those are ways to really center how you're feeling, get yourself geared up, then go back in and go to work. And I'd like to say this is in representation of every patient that's had chronic pain. I'd like to represent everybody by saying, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to be selfless enough to go through watching somebody suffer that you love, then to want to fix it and you can't, and then to have to just be there and write it out with the person. That's a hard job. And it doesn't go appreciated enough. So, in this short video, if nothing else, know how grateful I am to all those people out there that are selfless enough to love and care for another human being and enduring what they're going through. So, if you leave a comment, I'd love it. I'd like to hear feedback on things you'd like to hear about or even how you feel on this video. If nothing else, be determined. Have a great day. Bye.